Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, right here, back for another Transformers Transformation Review thingy, and I'm donning the green, so that must mean it's another auto assembly video. And indeed it is, we're a mere, well, I'm going to say, it's not even 2.5 weeks. From this Thursday, it'll be a fortnight that people start to assemble anyway. Assemble for auto assembly. It's all that we're talking about. It's all the buzz. It's all the rage. It's in the background of everything. Everything, waking and sleeping, is infused with auto assembly. For those of us who are going, if you know who you are, if you know who you are, great. You know who you are, so you know what I mean. That's what I meant to say. Silly boy. So things look a little different tonight. It's not because I've got my hair cut again, but I have. Go figure. That's what auto assembly does, and it's not just me. Everybody's getting their hair cut. Everybody's getting their hair cut. Some people have said they're getting their hair cut. Anyway, it's because I've got a new camera. You see, that's what's happened to me. I've got a new camera, and I've lost the plot, lost all sense of reality. Got a new camera, which is 128,000 bajillion HD. It's some gigantic, horrendous number that the devil invented anyway. It's all the camera you'd ever need for anything. So with better sound, with better pixels, with better humdingers, you know, all those things that the kids are concerned with. So all those things. So everything's going to look good. So I can show you things that you've never really been able to see before. Ooh, that sounded a little bit strange. I meant the kind of customizing that I've done on War for Cybertron Prime. Full of Cybertron, War for Cybertron, Go to Cybertron. I can't remember. It's one of those things. I get lost in the syntax of these names. I'm actually quite unconcerned with the whole thing. What I like my cold hard plastic, and I like my plastic hard. Sometimes I like it waxy, and occasionally it has to be flexible, but that's the way I want it. So to that end, we are today, ladies and gentlemen, we are Bruticus, because this has been inspired by, I have to think now what it's been inspired by. My going to auto assembly, yes, everything's about auto assembly, and I need Scourge. I need Scourge. Someone scourge me. Red wine. So it's inspired by the fact that I haven't done these bots in a while, and I looked at them and they said, review me. You know, that's generally how I review a bot. I look around and I go, who wants reviewed? And one or two of them will go, me, and so I generally pick the one that has the loudest voice. Yes, my bots are talking to me. I'm admitting that. Oh god, it's not a good day, it's the heat. So this is the very odd and extremely wonderful, batshit crazy Robots in Disguise Bruticus. That's what he looks like. He transforms into Cerberus. It's generally accepted that that's what he is. Cerberus, as you may or may not know, is a three-headed dog. Now, even in this new high-quality camera that has been invented by Satan himself, it looks a little... What? Because it does actually look a little... What? It's... there are three heads. There you go. Now, they are discernible. There they go. There are the three heads. The rest of it is a very angular and demonic mishmash of coat hangers and big slabs of red plastic with yellow bits thrown in. And look there, when I say Scourge, this is a bad boy here. He's got three tails, and each one of them will do you even more damage than the next. He is a really interesting conglomeration of things. Now, to my mind, he sticks out in Transformers an absolute mile because he's unlike anything else. There's no real precedent for having a bot like that other than he is just very, very strange. It almost seems that he's unfinished because there's there are large proportions of it that seem very, very unfinished. Unfinished gimmicks. Even I would argue unfinished color schemes, unfinished molding, an experiment that has failed ever so slightly, but one that was ultimately worth sticking into plastic and putting on the shelves. Now, you may not ever have seen this boy on your shelf, and that wouldn't surprise me, because I don't even know if he was released in this country. Now, let me give you a little bit of BG. Transforms into Cerberus, a mythical three-headed dog. His robot mode continues the motif with three different dog-shaped faces on his head. This is so strange. Now this is why I can do him tonight on this camera, because you'll see this crazy stuff. His beast mode hind legs end up in the robot mode back, can unfold a second pair of arms. His tail becomes a flail weapon. Good, right, that is of course the redoubtable and unflappable Mr. Christopher McFeely. So let's get one more look at this thing. Very, very strange. Some of the dog heads don't really work like this one. Let's see how close we can get. Come on, camera, do your worst. Is it because I'm not being still? Is that what's going on? Or maybe it just favors my face. There we go. Look at that shit there. So I'm just getting used to my camera, so you'll forgive me. Now, yes, he does have eyes, but they're sunken away in there like that. Right? Very, very strange. The dog head in the middle. Okay. But he looks more like a were-hamster, doesn't he? You know, he's got these giant cheeks and these big teeth and these eyes that have been lifted straight out of the animated series of Tron. Very strange. This is another dog. Now, this is probably the most coherent. Where are we? This is probably the most coherent dog head. Having said that, focus. Focus. Here we go. Any minute. 3, 2, 1. There we go. This is still very, very strange. The whole thing is very, very strange. Let's look at underneath. You would swear he's a prime toy because you can see through him. I can see you through him. Lovely, odd freaker. Let's just get him transformed. And so here is the bot mode, the bizarre alternate bot mode. If ever a bot mode was alternate, this is an alternate bot mode. You can see that the dog heads become the hands, and the central dog head, the hamster head, becomes the robot head. Now let me see how much of a close-up we can get here. It wasn't really working earlier. Maybe if I move out of shot, it's going to focus a little better, or not. It's a strange thing. I'm still not quite used to this camera. But he's Megatron's dungeon hound. He guards Megatron's dungeons or something very strange like that. There's one of the little gimmicks there, which is really quite cute. Ooh, there was something interesting when I moved my hand there. I'm still trying to get to grips with how the focus and stuff works with this. Let me see if I can show you how his heads work. There's head 1. I must just show you that his jaw will open and close. Yeah, his jaw will open and close. There we go. We can get a good close-up now. There's his jaw, which is so very strange. Look at that head. Look at that robot head. It's absolutely bonkers. How did I manage to get that? Let me see. I don't even know how I managed to get that close up before. Let's have a look at the other heads. These are his other heads. Now, in order to make his other heads, you've got to pull this thing out of the way. Okay. Turn that to the front. Oh, we just had one there. Right. So there's butt head number 1, or rather butt head number 2. And again, it's slightly canine. And here is butt head number 3. And again, it's slightly canine. But I mean, what is the deal? Exactly why should that happen? Why that should happen, I do not know. There's his main head. And it's still very strange. He's got these giant bat ears. And these kind of very strange kind of oxen ears coming out the side. These big red bits. Very strange. Let's give him his extra arms. This is where it gets really funky and very strange. Open up his legs at the back, and you can bring these bad boys all the way forward, and you give him an extra set of arms with daggers on them. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Now let's take this. This is a little whiptail, and he can just about hold it in one of the dog heads. Just about. Now let me just say that can be held in there only just. Now look at this redundant gimmick. You can see right in the middle of his chest. Let me see if I can get this to focus. Right in the middle of his chest, he's got this. I don't know really what to call it. It's a big flap, isn't it? Yes, for want of a better word. And underneath it is this big block of plastic. Now this is one big solid block of plastic all throughout the center, and it does nothing. That's a big thick bit of plastic all throughout the center, which does nothing. Now there must have been something funky going to happen in it at one stage or other. Look at the back. There's the spark crystal. He is bizarre, he is strange, he's beautiful, he's barely a Transformer. But that's one of the reasons I really like this bot. Now let's get on to a Bruticus, another Beast Bruticus, which really works. Now this is Universe Bruticus, and he is as sexy as a bag of chips on a Friday night. Everything about him is good. Now I've painted the ass off this guy, but the color scheme's similar. You've got that kind of reddish, you've got an orange, and there's a little kind of blue purpley thing going on. So it's obviously the same thing, and it's a three-headed dragon. He is of course a repaint of Scourge, the Cryo Scourge from the Cybertron line. Still got the same gimmicks. Press the button. This is a very nice bot. Really very nice bot. One more time. Yeah, just a nice bot. And this works so much better. I mean, presumably they're the same bot. Let's have a little look here. We'll see what TF Wiki says. The font of all transforming knowledge. Well, not much other than that. I think to me, he'd be the same bot. And I love him. I absolutely love this. The first time I became aware of this guy was probably about a year and a half ago, and it was one of those must-have moments. So here he is. This is Universe Bruticus in his bot mode, and of course he is a repaint of the Cybertron Scourge. The Cybertron Scourge mold is absolutely fantastic. I don't have Cybertron Scourge, but I have Cryo Scourge and I have Bruticus. But because I love a mold, I want every version of it. It's like when I got the Energon Mirage, I also had to get the Dreadwing, and I had to get the Banzaitron, because that mold is just so sexy. There's very few bots that I own every version of the mold. So I think when I get Cybertron Scourge, I will have every mold of this. Now notice that he is not a Decepticon, but in fact he is. Oh yes, this is working so very well. Well, trust me, there's a Predacon symbol there. Having got my brand new camera, yes, you can just about see it there now. There he is. He's a Predacon. He's a Predacon. That, to me, is very, very sexy. And that's what Universe does really well. Takes bots from all continuities and does whatever they like with them. This goes from that to that. This is a fun weapon, but unfortunately, his hand and arm aren't flexible enough to hold it in a sexy way. So he's difficult to display with his weapon. Now he's painted to within an inch of his life, this boy, because I think he needed it. There was lots of areas on him, lots of paint areas that were just a little bit lacking. Now of course the gimmick still works here. So insert the Cyberplanet key, and both these little bad boys spring forward. And these are, I suppose, he might call them the twins, mightn't he? And he's got little dragon heads that can be accessed here like that. And they can only close their mouth, which is slightly strange. Normally they open their mouth. Now, I would like to see who could be a Bruticus repaint. Of course, it could be the Voyager class Predaking. Why not? They're repainting it as Cryo's Fire Predaking or something, which of course should be Cryotech, as we all know. Why not bring a little bit of Bruticus action back? So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for something a little bit out there, a little bit different in Auto Assembly this year, I recommend you have a little look for those Beast versions of Bruticus. You've got the Universe one, that's a Predacon, and that's fantastic. I love what Universe can do with bots. And then you've got the RID version, that's a three-headed dog that doesn't resemble a Transformer in either mode. Both of them are really interesting talking points for any Transformers collection. I don't need mine, so that's 2 extra for you to find, ladies and gentlemen. I shall see you very soon. This is Ray, wishing you a very good night.
Now that's what